Let's change that camera angle just a little bit. Cool. Hi. I do have the fan going, so if the audio is weird, that is why, but I literally cannot turn off the fan. It is super hot and muggy and humid and just gross today. So the fan is required for me to be able to hang out with you guys. I just need to lean back. If I like lean back a couple times, it's just because I'm getting like the direct airflow of the fan. It's like the first taste of summer is what we're getting, and it's absolutely horrible. I hate it. Anyway, you guys didn't come here for me to chat about the weather. You came here to pattern some bicycle pants. I have two patterns pulled, which is a Renaissance style poofy pant and also the overalls pattern. I'm hoping to kind of combine the two into one pattern to have like a fitted waist but also like lots of volume that'll get gathered down into a cuff. That's the hope. We'll see what happens. The fabric we are going to be making these out of is this wonderful plaid. I'm kind of excited about it. And so yeah, I think where we need to start is with the overall pattern, because this is where we're going to get the fit of the waist. This is the back, I think? Nope, that's the front. And then that's the bib. Waistbands, which we will reuse for this project, but also alter. Pockets, placket, yoke, placket, back pant leg, pockets. Cool. Love the dress color is yummy. Thank you. This is the simplified Eddie. So like you guys can kind of see it has like the same shape as my Edwardian project, which is right here. It just doesn't have all the insertion lace, but it's the same base pattern. So I wanted to create a simplified version in case people weren't comfortable doing all of the insertion lace, and honestly I kind of love both for very different reasons, and they don't look like the same dress, which I find really interesting. Just because I never would have expected them to look so different using the same block pattern. You're a pattern making genius. I would love to be you. Thank you. I definitely am learning a lot. And it's really just practice. But thank you. Did I miss other comments? Very cool. Alrighty. So this is my back leg. Ditto on both feels so different. Yeah. It's just not something I like expected to be a thing. I kind of really like it though. Okay, so general thoughts, right? I know I want it to fit really nicely on the waist and like probably down to my upper hip. And then I want it to flare out. So theoretically, if we took this pattern and said, well, what's that measurement? Where's my tape? We said, because this is about where the waistband I'm expecting to sit, it might actually sit here, but we'll figure that out with a mock-up. But if I take from the waist down to where I want it to start really flaring, that's about 5 inches. So if we line this up with the grid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right where the pocket mark is. Which we need, okay. I'm just gonna start doing things and like talking at you guys while I do them, because I can't think of a better way to like do both. So I will be checking the comments. If you have questions, just like say something. But I'm kind of just gonna buckle down and do this. So hopefully this will all make sense. If not, you guys will get a really in-depth look at my patterning process, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. This also is flat drafting patterning, which isn't my go-to. So there's actually two styles of patterning. One is flat drafting, which is what we're going to be doing today. But my primary source of patterning and what I feel really comfortable doing is draping. But because I no longer have a dress form that is my size, I can't drape anymore. So we'll be fixing that later this year, because I really want to get back to draping. I miss it. Anyway, flat pattern drafting. I'll put this under there. Oh, yes! I knew I saw it today. Yes! I was cleaning and looking everywhere. I was like, where is my French curve? I'm going to need it because I'm doing pants. Anyway, got my French curve. We'll put it over here. Okay, we will deal with the back later. Because of the yoke, this has technicalities. We'll do the easiest first. Best way to do this would be to clear my table. I feel like I'm just moving the mess around. It's not getting put away. Alrighty. Alrighty. We're going to want this to be at least 36 inches in length, which it is right on the dot. Perfect. I'm going to put this in the middle so that way we can add fullness in both directions, because that's what I feel like we need. So if I get my ruler, everything is just falling around me. And we line this up. But like, here's the thing though, like, do we need that big of a curve? Probably not. Because if we add darts or pleats at the waist or something, that curve doesn't need to be as severe. Now if we add this in, cool. Also we need our 5-inch mark so we know where to flare out from. And honestly, it's going to naturally do that right there. This back here, so we can mark the length. man, Eddie. Nah. Okay. I'll fix that later. To do some math. This is going to be terrible. Okay, so if I keep the full width of the paper, that means I'm going to be gathering 60 inches down into 20 inches. Less than 20 inches. What is that measurement? Means I'm going to be gathering, well, we take seam allowance off, so 58 inches down into 18. That's going to be too much. I feel like I want this fullness, which is going to go across my thigh, to be really nice and big. So what's my thigh measurement? Did I just measure with I measured with the wrong side of the tape. I love how full bicycle pants are big sleeves or big legs. I agree. I feel like the big sleeves and the big legs really balance each other. It's just a practicality measure of like how much can you physically gather down into a cuff without it being too much. Cartridge pleating is an option. I mean, so let's do some math, right? So it's 18, which would then be 36. It's almost, well, not really. I was going to say it's almost 4 times the amount in the hem that it'll have in the cuff, which is way too much. I don't like going over 3, because 3 is the number that you multiply by to get like the basic pleat math. If we're chatting, I need to sit. So yeah, if you want something to be fully pleated into something smaller, you need to multiply it by 3 so that way you can have enough fabric to do the full pleats. But if it's over 3, then it's going to be too much. So 18 plus 9, which would be 27, is technically the most, if we're going by pleat math, is the most that I would need this to be, which means that I need to bring each corner in, is that really? By 1.5 inches, which isn't the end of the world. Okay. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. Which then would like line this up. Like that. And line, oh, let's not break the table. Line this one up right here. But we want that to be like this. Cool. This one I'm not as worried about, but we can even it up too. I think that's all we need. Let's do the back. Actually, let's cut this out. Where's my scissors? what is it? Can you teach us to grid patterns? My little sister wants me to do this for her Lolita books. I have no idea how to grid patterns. I don't know if I'm going to ever actually share that information because it feels like sabotaging my business. Just being very straight up with you guys. Although, that being said, I'm sure there is someone else on YouTube who has made a video about it. So, if you want to look it up, go for it. Let's label this the bike front. I'll roll this out. Cool. So here's the thing. Seam allowance is a thing. This convexing is a thing. Overlap this by an inch, it should eradicate the seam allowance. point we need to start flaring up from. Line this up. Yeah, just about cool. I'm gonna want this angle to be different. I think, actually, I'm gonna want these angles to match. Okay, so that's only about 1.5 inches off, so I guess this doesn't matter. We can go down this way. This angle, however, is exactly what I thought it would be. Cool. is the basic pant pattern. We did it, guys. Future steps of this process is I am going to want to make a mock-up of this, just to make sure that the minor things that I did across the waist and hips don't severely alter the shape as much. I already know that I'm going to need to put some darts in the back because I added about an inch of fullness. So that's going to need to be a thing, and I'll have to decide the size and shape and placement of those darts. And then either I'm going to have to shave a little bit off of the pattern in the front because that also got some added to it, or I will have to figure out a dart there as well. But all those things will be figured out in the mock-up stage, which we're not going to do today. But anyway, let's move you guys a little closer and we can get chatty because you guys seem to be interested in chatting today. We'll move you down. Cool. I feel like we haven't done like a chatty catch-up thing in a while, so I'm kind of glad that the patterning didn't take forever. Readjusting to get comfy. You guys can see Eddie in the background here. She is finished. I posted a story last week of me wearing her on my Instagram. I finished the simplified version yesterday. There's a few things I want to tweak for like my personal wearing, but I don't know if I'm going to tweak them for the pattern. We'll see. I just have very specific clothing preferences, but not everyone else does. So, definitely something that I feel like needs to get tweaked though is like this neckline needs to come a ½ inch further down because this is just, it's too high. But anyway, yeah, the simplified bodice will have a lower, slightly lower neckline than Eddie, just because Eddie has the collar. But like, it shouldn't be that hard to like decide to put a lower neckline on Eddie if that's what you choose. You just like line up both patterns and stuff. Anyway, I will be selling the pattern for Simply and Eddie individually as well as like grouped together. I'm starting to think like as I plan things out and plan things to like either match each other or go with each other, like if I make a vest for these bicycle pants, I will sell the patterns individually as well as in a set together. So for the menswear inspired fall that I have, the plan is to sell all the individual pieces together, but then offer a small discount if you like sell everything separately and offer a small discount if you buy everything together, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm still trying to play with business model and everything. But the first launch went really well, like a lot better than I could have ever expected. So like I'm gonna just keep thanking you guys because I think it's amazing. My goal for the first launch was to cover 1 month's worth of expenses before the second launch, and right now I think we're on track to cover 3 months worth of expenses before the second summer launch in July. So it's overwhelming, but it's also like really kind of gratifying to be seeing some sort of income from this when I've been working at this for 2 years. So all of that to say, thanks for buying patterns, guys. It also like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it like served, did I bring my water up? I made myself a glass of water and completely forgot to bring it up. I'm not gonna disappear on you guys, it's fine, I got the pan. Where was I? This has been happening a lot. I just completely lose track of where I am because like something random pops into my brain. Patterns. We were talking about patterns. I don't know what my thought process was, but it was on patterns. Pattern sales are going well. A lot better than I expected. I will be like continually making things. Not everything, like I said before, not everything that I make will be made into a pattern because I don't always use self-drafted patterns, but when I do intend to make those into sellable patterns for you guys. So kind of excited about that. what else? What else do we have to talk about? Bella's done. I can't show you the finished Belle dress because I'm working with a sponsor for that video, and you'll see that when it comes out. But I can tell you the story. So I got all, I looked up like rose gardens near me, right? And I found a rose garden that was an hour away, and I was so excited because I have friends over on the West Coast who have been posting beautiful pictures in rose gardens, and I'm like, yes, it's gonna be so great. Like, it'll be in bloom, it'll be fantastic. From what I could tell, it was in a park, and so like it wasn't going to be near really busy or near a lot of people. So I like wake up super early, like before the sun, get all ready, get all dressed, drive out there to find that there are no roses in the rose garden because our weather is colder, and so like the flowers just haven't started blooming yet. And the rose garden is right next to a super busy road. I mean, it's busy enough that like no one's really gonna pay attention to someone in a historical bell gown taking photos of themselves, but it's like busy enough to make me self-conscious. So I just about like drove home, just about, but I'm so glad I didn't because I got some killer pictures, which I think you guys will love when you see them, because when I am super stressed, I have been opening up my phone and looking at pictures and being like, I did good. Anyway, something to look forward to. That'll be, I think, the third week in May is when that video is coming out. So, end of May, you can expect my historical bell. The Eddie video will probably be released around the same time. And then I have a kind of just like a sit-down, chatty, not really inspirational, but kind of inspirational video planned. That'll reuse a lot of footage that you guys have already seen if you've been following along with the projects on my channel. So that one's going to be about like how much I've progressed in my like Edwardian knowledge and sewing in the past year, comparing like the blue, all the foundations and the blue dress that I made about this time last year to Eddie. So I figured that would be like a really cool video to kind of build off of my So You Want to Start Costuming video. Because I know that I said that like where you started is not where you end up, but that also leaves the thought that like, oh, well, this could take years for me to get to a level where I feel like I'm doing this well, when depending on how much time you have to invest in it, you really only have like a year is really plausible. So I've been missing your comments. Okay, so hi, bicycle pants are one of my costuming goals. They have been on my, ooh, sorry. Let's hold you guys while I like look at your comments. They've been on my list of things to make for a while too, so I'm kind of excited about it. Cute, wonderful. So nice to hear part of this. Feels good. I have ADHD, don't ask me. Yes, that's so relatable. I'm actually in the process of, well, not in the process, but like I've started talking to my doctor about steps I would need to take to get like testing to get an official diagnosis, which is huge for me. Because I'm just like, I wonder how productive I would be if I wasn't distracted all the time. And this thought has been like noodling around in my brain for about a year. So I might start getting medicated for it. We'll see. But yeah, back to Belle and pictures. I will probably get all dressed up and go do the photo shoot again in like mid to late June when the roses are supposed to be blooming. Because we actually, my husband looked it up. I texted my husband and I was just like, no, I can't, like the roses aren't here, I can't. And then he looked it up for me. So when I got home, he's just like, you should try again in June. I love him. He's so supportive. So, yeah, I think that's all the chatty stuff I have for you guys. Summer launch is going to be the beginning of July, and so I have planned my pin tuck blouse, the fox blouse with the ruffle, Eddie, Simply, 4 patterns, bicycle pants, maybe a vest. I'm not going to commit myself to the vest, but maybe a vest. But the goal for each pattern launch is 3 to 5 patterns, and I feel like if I keep trying to put out 6 patterns, I'm gonna burn myself out eventually. So we'll see. Eventually I'll get to the point where I feel like I have enough of a catalog that I won't need to be filling it. But I also have lots of ideas on like things to do. So we'll see how that goes. Can't wait. All of those are so lovely. Yeah. Summer launch is summer launch is Edwardian. Fall launch is like menswear, tailored clothing. Winter launch will probably be vintage party dresses because I have a lot I want to make that are super cute. And then the spring launch, I think, is going to be Italian Renaissance themed is where I'm headed. But that's like far enough out that like it could change. I don't know yet. So that's where I'm kind of headed with all of that. So things to look forward to. I was texting my mom and she was just like, when you plan this far ahead, do you think you can keep everything a secret? And I'm like, Mom, do I need to keep it a secret or can I just like hype up my business? And the conversation moved on after that. We didn't have a conclusion. But yeah, cool, something to look forward to. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely why I keep telling you what my plans are as I have plans, as they're set in stone, as they're not set in stone, just to like gauge feedback, because I don't know what you guys are looking for, and ultimately if I want my pattern company to be a success, I need to like do things that you guys are going to pay for, like give you guys value, if that makes sense. So hearing your feedback on like what you guys are excited about is honestly kind of important, especially at this stage when I'm trying to like build out a catalog. So yeah. Also, for those watching the replay, if you have like suggestions of things that you want to see, leave them in the comments. You need to tease what might be coming our way just to keep interested. Yeah. I mean, you guys, like, I work on things months in advance. I mean, we had the spring launch at the beginning of the month, and I've already made most of the pattern samples for the summer launch, and I really want to stay a couple months ahead. So it's not really going to be a secret on like what's coming out, but I definitely do want to make it clear on like this. I don't have my heart set on this one yet, like I did with Italian Renaissance in spring. So vintage party dresses should be fun. That might just be 2 patterns though. So, because I already made 1, and then if I make a second one, then that would be 2. And I already have the fabric for the second one. We'll see. Like my birthday dress, because I plan on making another birthday dress in 2021, so that should be in the winter launch too. Even though that means I'd be making it November, December, and my birthday isn't until February, I would definitely include the birthday dress in the winter launch. So we're gonna probably just have 3 patterns in winter. So you can just make us excited. We know we can purchase the patterns we want. Yeah. Welcome, Amy. Calling you out by name because we've been chatting all day. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this has been a really fun adventure, and it's kind of exciting to have been working towards building enough of a community and audience and like people who are interested in supporting me, to the point where I can say, hey, I'm doing this like business thing, and for it to actually gain traction. So I'm so proud of you and your patterns. Thank you. Like all of you guys, and like your encouragement has definitely been like really awesome too, and just to see how things like progress and build with the summer launch is going to be exciting. I just hope that the summer launch does just as well as the Like, if things were just, like, stayed stable, I think I would be really happy. I'm not expecting exponential growth. I'm not expecting things to just, like, suddenly, this is a really profitable business. I really just want, like, my goal financially for this year was to turn YouTube into a self-sustaining hobby. And I didn't expect the patterns to do it this year. I expected it to be like a mix of like Patreon and patterns and ad revenue, and so far patterns have pretty much done it. So I'm getting more of an income from the patterns than I am from my other two current revenue streams. So I'm really excited about that, and I hope that that trend continues. So where can I find your patterns? On Etsy. Scrappy Patterns is the name of the shop, but if you go and you just type in like etsy.com/scrapsandsequins, it'll take you right to the shop. I'm selling things on Etsy for now. I might eventually build my own website. Actually, the goal is to build my own website at some point. I just don't have the spendable income to buy a URL right now, but that might change depending on what patterns. So I do need to change my settings on YouTube, so that way there will be just like a fixed link for it in like all of the video content that goes up. So in future, if you want to try to find the patterns, if you want to try to find where the patterns are being sold, there should be a link in the video descriptions. So there's that. I might retroactively go back and add it into all of the past videos, which would make sense because a lot of my past videos get a lot of views. So all of the patterns are one size and gridded, which means that they are me size and fit to my body, but they're also on a grid, so that way you can be like, my bust measurement is like 0.5 inches larger than hers proportionally, so you can like do that math and be like, for every inch on her pattern I need 1.5 inches on mine, and be able to like do that math and scale things that way. If you are, best advice for scaling a pattern is to scale it up to your biggest measurement. So if your biggest measurement is like your bust, for like any sort of bodice pattern, then scale it up to your bust. And then for like any sort of skirt, scale that up to your hips, and then you can adjust and fit from there. It's so much easier to take away fabric and figure out how things fit and shape to your body that way than to accidentally cut it too small. So that's my best practice tip I can give for you. And that comes from the concept of when I worked in the tailor shop and things weren't quite fitting on someone the way that they wanted it to, and we could tell they weren't super comfortable, we would size up the garment and then tailor it down, and they were always so much happier with it. So it's just kind of like basic tailoring practice to size up and then fit down. So I might be starting on some more Regency plans, because it's fabric that I've been like, so the same cotton voile that I used for Eddie, they sell it in multiple colors. The color that I have been looking at for about a year now came back in stock, so we might be making a really fancy Emma 2020-ish Regency gown, and I'm kind of excited. So you guys will definitely see updates on that. I don't know if it's going to happen this summer because I'm focusing on other things, obviously. The pattern line like comes first, and then like it's kind of like I'm focusing on patterns and then my YouTube channel and then like fun fluff projects, but I guess like the fun fluff projects are technically like things for my YouTube channel, which could then get turned into patterns. So it goes up and downs, but like I'm trying to prioritize scrappy patterns, and then the YouTube channel, and then fun projects just get thrown in. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. We are at 45 minutes, so it's no longer an incredibly short live, but it's not an hour. Do you guys have any questions for me regarding bicycle pants, patterning, scrappy patterns, upcoming projects? Like what do you guys want to know? You just need to make sure you don't do too much and burn out. I am really good at knowing my limits and knowing what I'm capable of, and that's why I have been switching a lot more to like simpler projects and projects that I'm more familiar with, especially if like I'm familiar with the base pattern, especially if I'm familiar with the base pattern, and then can alter it from there. I'm really simplifying my focus so that way I don't get burnt out. But honestly, like sewing and like all of this that I'm doing for my YouTube channel is things that I've been doing my entire life. And it's things that I've been doing as like a coping mechanism when things have been really stressed or I've been really anxious. So being able to do this like full time and just focus is really kind of awesome to like there is an element of like making your hobby your job that is really draining, but I feel like I've been able to like separate it and be like, today is just a super low energy day, I'm not going to film, but then still be able to like explain what I did and things. Like there's a whole process to it. But yeah, I'm very aware of burnout and things like that. So how full do you think the bicycle pants will be? I think they will have a close to a 60-inch hem, which is what I was kind of trying to avoid, but it's just going to be what they are. I think that they will be very bell-shaped, really nice and fitted along the waist, and then really nice and full at the bottom, which will be really nice for like layering vests and jackets and things over, because it won't bulk up and like pad out the waist like it would if you put lots of gathers in the waistband. I might try to pattern two versions though, one that's really full at the waist and one that's really full just at the bottom, just to like give options, I feel like, because I feel like not everyone would want that bell shape. I am also very curvy, I guess is the word. Like my hips are my biggest measurement, and so I feel like for me personally, having more fullness at the bottom than at the hips would help balance my body shape, especially if I did some sort of vest or jacket with really puff sleeves. I feel like that would help just balance the entire silhouette, which is why I'm, patterning the way that I am. So that's good. Sounds lush. Cool. Do you guys have any other questions? Joe's doing fine. He was giving me the stink eye. Well, first he was trying to steal my popcorn because it smelled really good, so I gave him his own. And then he was giving me the stink eye because I hadn't gone to bed. He looks after me like that. So he's doing fine. I need to give him some attention today, but that'll be later. I feel like I need to put Joe in my videos more. It just hasn't been a thing recently. So I keep looking at this and it's pulling here, which means that either my arm size needs to be a little bit lower, or it's just not. I think it's the neckline, so that way this will sit a little bit further out. It could also just be my posture, because when I sit very upright, it goes away. This could also be cut in. Sorry, this is what my brain does. I really think it's the arm size are cut incorrectly. They're not cut far enough in for my body shape, and so they need to be pulled out. But if I do that, then that's for very much for a like stooped posture, because you can see how rounded my upper back is right there. Whereas like if I sat straight up, it goes away for the most part. I think once the neck is altered, you might be able to see what else needs to be altered. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't think I actually will. I think I will do the neckline and be happy. I'm definitely in the good enough camp when it comes to my clothing, and not the it must be perfect. So, but yeah, that's interesting. Like, I don't think I ever realized how because I like how high cut it is, but it needs to come in, be more shaped, I think. So, good to know for future. We are a slouching nation. We are the slouching nation. Yeah, so I think that part of it comes from my profession too, because I am either looking down at my sewing or I'm looking down at a computer. And so I don't ever have like anything like at eye level, which would allow me to naturally sit very upright. Everything is below eye level, which allows me, like, forces me to stoop a little. And I think that's a large portion of it. So there are times when I, like, literally have to remind myself that, like, your back hurts, sit up straight. So, yeah. I think I have rambled long enough, rambled for about 30 minutes. So I hope you guys all enjoy. I will see you on Monday for a new video. I have no idea what that is. I have not looked at my content schedule in over a month. I've just been posting as things come up. It's bad. It's really bad. I need to sit down with my content calendar. Anyway, new video on Monday, live on Thursday, and I will see you guys. Bye!